Medieval Europe was a world built on power, a world where kings ruled with iron fists, where the church dictated law, and where betrayal wasn't just a crime, it was an insult to God himself. And in a world where power was absolute, punishments were designed not just to kill, but to make an example. Some were hanged, some were drawn and quartered. But for the worst kind of traitors, the ones who challenged the throne itself, there was a fate so horrifying, so agonizing, that it left even the hardest executioners shaken. The red-hot crown. A crown forged in fire, a death that seared itself into history. This punishment wasn't for common thieves or petty criminals. No, this was a death fit for those who dared to claim a crown that wasn't theirs. Would-be usurpers, assassins, heretics who defied both king and church. But what made the red-hot crown truly terrifying was that it didn't just kill, it transformed you. It began with fire. A simple iron crown, sometimes a perfect replica of the real thing, was placed into the forge. Slowly, as the crowd gathered, the metal shifted from dull gray to red to a blinding white-hot. Then came the moment of truth. The condemned, already half dead from terror, was forced to kneel. Some struggled, some pleaded, some tried to fight, as if sheer willpower could save them. It never did. The executioner did not hesitate. The crown, still sizzling, still pulsing with unbearable heat, was lifted with iron tongs. Flesh melted instantly. Hair ignited in a flash of blue and orange flame. The metal fused to bone, cooking the skull from the outside in. The victim's screams raw, primal, ripped through the air. Some reports say the heat was so intense that the brain itself swelled and ruptured within seconds. Others say some survived for minutes, their nerves too burned to feel the full agony, but their bodies too weak to fight death. Either way, it was over quickly. But the memory that lasted forever. This was more than just a punishment. It was a spectacle, a warning. In medieval France, the power of a king was absolute. And so was his vengeance. The red-hot crown was reserved for those who posed a direct threat to the throne, those whose deaths needed to be burned, quite literally, into the public consciousness. But was this execution real, or just another terrifying legend? Some historians believe the red-hot crown was more symbolic than common practice, a story whispered in taverns and courtrooms to deter would-be rebels. Others argue that at least a few unfortunate souls met their end this way, possibly in secret, away from the public eye. One possible case: Pierre Boussel, the crossbowman who fatally wounded England's Richard the Lionheart. After the king's death, Boussel was captured and executed in a particularly gruesome manner. Some accounts say he was flayed alive. Others suggest something worse: a slow, agonizing death meant to remind the world that no one, not even a lowly soldier, could kill a king without consequence. Could the red-hot crown have been his fate? We may never know. But one thing is certain: history is full of executions that sound too horrifying to be true. Yet somehow they were. Because in the Middle Ages, justice wasn't just about punishment. It was about power. And few things demonstrated power more clearly than forcing a man to wear the one thing he desired most, as it burned him alive. Not all crowns are made for kings. Some are made for those who dared to take one.